is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2.
Look at that loving opening, right? Welcome to DBL. It's Friday, February 12th. I'm Tori here with Lindsay and Brandon. We're feeling the love.
Happy Valentine's Day
weekend.
I guess Lindsay didn't get the memo that we were all wearing a little bit of pink today, but...
Where's my gift, Brandon?
Remember last year when I was sitting in, it was 1 year ago, I was sitting right there in the middle and I brought out the roses like that.
Yeah, we remember.
But we got COVID, can't be passing out roses.
So we have nothing.
I got you gift cards.
Gift
got
cards.
You guys gift cards.
I want mine now.
Okay.
Get it out.
Are there any that we could see for proof? No. Okay.
Lies.
It's Valentine's Day weekend, and we hope everyone at home has a love-filled time. But for a lot of people who are single, let's be super duper real. This past year has been very, very hard. It turns out dating apps have been the frontline defense for single people who are battling loneliness. But there's a big warning coming to consumers from the FTC. Romance scams are at an all-time high, up 50% from last year. 50%!
Wow.
In 2020, consumers lost a record $304 million, which works out to be about $2,500 per person who falls for one of these scams. So the FTC says to be on the lookout for scammers creating fake dating profiles and taking advantage of the pandemic and economic crisis. They say one red flag is if the person comes up with excuses not to meet in person, which of course has been complicated by the pandemic and travel restrictions. Okay, romance scams. I want to know why people fall for them so much, and is it because people are so truly lonely that they would almost do anything to have a companion? And I am admitting I'm lonely.
Let me, because at first, we've done this story before in the past, and I was like, who would fall for this? Like, I can't believe someone would actually fall for this. But actually, this past year, I'm one of those people that, like, you're so used to being alone, but I'm not used to being lonely. So for me, I don't think I'd get caught in the scam, but I can see why someone else would just want that attention, some sort of intimacy and companionship.
Yeah.
So I can see why someone can kind of get duped a little bit there, Lindsay.
Especially because I'm like codependent, so like people like me, we're really vulnerable. Go ahead, I'm very codependent.
When I watch shows like Catfish and like Brandon said, I still like don't understand. Like if we can't meet, we can't be. I don't like. It's just I don't know what you're talking about. But I do understand because I've seen like people, older people in my family, not even that old, like 40 plus, get scammed for like Cash App scams or like these other phone calls that you get. So I can understand that if you're talking to somebody and you're in the middle of COVID, in the middle of a pandemic, you're not going to meet up. It take a longer amount of time. I also oddly know a bunch of people that have gotten together through dating apps during this time period. Yeah.
Okay, so there's hope out there. That's good to hear. Yeah, just be like if you're a lonely person like me, or not lonely, but I mean codependent, you always want to be with a companion, be extra careful because they take advantage of that vulnerability and they'll use it. So just be cautious with your friends who are like that.
The minute they ask for money, it's not a relationship, okay?
Hey, can you get me a phone? Uh-oh, red flag.
And it's also 2021. That's why dating app sites like Bumble, they've revolutionized the online dating game because now you can video chat within that app. So I believe like now in 2021, it should be some sort of standard that people at least video chat with each other before you meet up and before you send some sort of cash.
Well, if you don't get a video chat with them, that's a big red flag.
Yes.
All right, don't mess with moms. That's the takeaway from this video we're about to show you. A woman in Texas tackled a 19-year-old suspect she caught peeping into her 15-year-old daughter's window. Brandon, former NFL player, how did that look? He tried to run away, and the police dash cam caught the whole thing. Look at this. Here she goes. No! She kind of does like a wiggle thing before she...
It's a good shuffle.
It's a good shuffle.
Yeah, the way you shuffle, you break down the distance between you and the ball carrier, and then you wrap up for him. Tackle.
Whoa.
Great job, Mom. Right?
All
Don't mess with mama bears.
That is true. Here's what she said, and she told police after her NFL-style takedown.
Fist bumped me, and he was like, "Hey, so I heard Texans are looking for a new linebacker."
The 19-year-old suspect is facing charges.
Let me tell you, my dad has chased somebody down the block before who was at my window when I was in high school.
No way. Tell us.
But it wasn't my mom, though. If it was my mom, I would have been even more proud.
Susan would take
it was actually for my sister, so I'm going to throw her under the bus. It wasn't for me. But my dad has chased that man all the way down the block. They never returned. He's kind of a legend in the hood at this point.
Wait. So, but was it his fault? Was he invited over, or?
Yeah,
No, he was just like knocking on the window, like Lauren, like say what's up. My dad was like, oh hell no.
I'll stop there. That's puppy love back in the day.
Ooh, I don't know.
I was probably 13. She was probably like 16.
Oh, I love that she just like gauged it so correctly, and then the cops are like, oh yeah, we'll help.
But this is broad daylight, so this guy is super brave for being a peeping Tom in the middle of the day.
Or super stupid.
Super
stupid. Yeah, not brave.
Not brave.
I take that back.
Red flags.
It is true. You're right.
Yes,
that's the theme of today's this segment is red flags. And if you are a mama bear out there, we bow down to you. Coming up on DBL, get cooking this Valentine's Day weekend. Chef Gernard is bringing us an easy, mouth-watering recipe sure to satisfy your sweetie. And we're gonna bust the biggest love and romance myths around. Are men really less romantic? Who values sex more? It's gonna get spicy in here. Coming up next.
It's so easy to sell on Poshmark. You just pick out your ad.
My sister wonders why she still has gas after taking.
At DBL, we're always on.
I'm in control. You're trying to give a conversation up here.
Shouldn't he be held accountable?
Absolutely.
This is where I'm going to push back. Is this my shocked face?
Tori, I will walk up the set.
You should.
This February, DBL is all new
I agree with Al on this one.
every day.
Yeah, wow, I said it, Tori. Yo. I'm in control.
Welcome back to DBL. A big shout out to our coworkers tuning in from home during the pandemic. Some of you are having children and on the way. Some of you are getting married. We all miss you and we wish you all the love. Well, welcome back to DBL. Since it's Valentine's Day this weekend, we thought it'd be a good time to bring up some common love and sex myths. Huh?
Okay, let's do it.
All right, first up, is this one true or false? More couples break up before and on Valentine's Day.
Yes. Expectations are way too high.
Yes.
And people let you down.
So 2 yeses here.
But we have to break it down. Situationships, yes, and reveal the answer, and I'll give you the answer.
All right, well, you guys were right. Accordingly, that is actually true. I love this music. According to dating expert Luann Ward, many couples either have a fight or break up before or on Valentine's Day.
Because if you're dating casual and you don't want it to get serious, you have to break up or stop talking to that person before Valentine's Day, so I heard.
Dude, that's what's up.
Let me tell you, I think that I asked Colin yesterday, are you my Valentine? I need to know, are we celebrating and how so?
And what did he say?
Yes, of course.
Oh, okay, good. Okay.
But I need to be clear.
First of all, I love the splashiness of this music. You want to go to the Lido deck later? Midnight buffet. Number 2, true or false, men are less romantic than women.
True, with asterisks.
You always have an asterisk.
I think no. I think sometimes guys actually pretend like they're less romantic and emotional, but they really are just as romantic.
Well, Colin is a special guy. So is Brooksy. He's very romantic.
Yes, he is.
This is actually false, but can also be true. What a great question. According to a survey, 58% of people said women were more romantic, but then another 50% of people said men were.
Here's the thing. I think women.
What do you think?
I think women need romance more than men.
Oh, don't sit up here.
And I'm not saying that as a bad way. We're the ones who have to woo you all, the male peacock.
But isn't that a societal norm that we've been used to? That like some tribes, the women, the women have to show up for the man.
Well, if someone wants to woo me,
excuse
then
me,
what are
is
they
the
doing
wooing?
this weekend?
You're saying like you in your mind you think you're doing the wooing, but when the woman casually plays her game and then Brandon falls into the trap, like he doesn't know he does probably once a month.
or lesbian couples. Like, you know, you can't be heteronormative here. You know what I mean? All right, here's another one. Men care more about sex than women. Don't look at the screen. What do you think? Don't look. Men care more about
I would say
sex.
yes because of all the theories I heard about how much guys think about it.
I also will say maybe yes.
Yes, with no asterisk.
You guys were all wrong. This one is false. It turns out women care about sex just as much as men. Now, I do want to say, if you haven't read The Selfish Gene, it's about what you want to do to pass on your genetics.
Okay.
It's all towards getting yourself to be reproduced. So we both care about it, like men and women.
But who would you say is more thirsty? Come on, this is Valentine's Day 2021.
I'm worried. All right, we're going to move on.
You're not going to answer that?
No, I'm moving on.
Never mind.
Next up, lingerie keep both men and women happy in a relationship.
You know what? I don't know because I know that I have a lot of guy friends that I grew up with, and sometimes they're like, "Oh, that ain't necessary."
Thank you.
Like it's for the girl, and so I got offended hearing that because I think there's always a nice trip to a lingerie store, but sometimes it seems like guys don't care.
I will say though, like if you do get a little number and they're on Amazon, you can definitely get. They're not expensive.
Okay,
For a
Amazon, you might be pushing it, but I need to see what you got, Tori.
Shop small business, Tori.
Okay, you're right, but I'm just saying it can definitely spice something up if you're like, "Hey there, what's that?"
I think I speak for a lot of men when I say the sexiest form of lingerie out there is you wearing one of our shirts.
Okay, that's nice. Very sweet.
Well, let me tell you, in quarantine, I wore all of Colin's clothes, and he's like, "Can you get some clothes?" So there's
that's
like
not as sexy.
there's not. I think there's like a fine line. when you
Shop
start
small
wearing-
business, Lindsay.
All right, this one is true. 70% of men say they hope to see their partner in lingerie, and
Wow.
64% of women hope to get it as a gift. All right, speaking of gifts, true or false, buying a gift to show your love is important.
I say true, but it doesn't have to be like an expensive gift, right? It could be a card for me. I just appreciate it.
That's a love language for you. What about you?
No, I think intimacy. I think like the caring gift, the thoughtful gift is
important.
better than just a rich, lavish gift.
I don't care about gifts, really. False. 63% of men and women prefer to be told they're loved instead.
Aww.
Okay, and finally, red roses are the most romantic flower.
I'd say yeah, but I do like the kaleidoscope ones that have all the rainbow,
Beautiful.
but I'm extra.
I gotta be honest with you, red roses, I'm like,
No?
Really?
come on. Be a little more creative. This one's also false. 4 out of 5 women surveyed they'd rather get their favorite flower over a rose. What are we?
Favorite flowers?
Orange tulip.
I like the kaleidoscope rose.
Okay.
Yeah.
Brandon, favorite flower?
I don't want flowers for Valentine's Day,
No.
but my
So what do you
Valentine,
want?
if you're watching, what's your favorite flower?
Aw.
So many women are like, this is my favorite.
Wait, if your girl was to get you a gift, what would it be? Or what would you want?
Her. She's in the Netherlands right now. I want her. I want
Look at this.
Guys, look at this. Huh? Coming up on
Tori's like a
DBL.
big heart right now with the pink.
I know, and this sweater doesn't breathe. Chef Jernard, he's back on the show. He's got a Valentine's Day recipe and rom-com recommendation that'll surprise your sweetie. Don't go away.
Non-attorney spokesperson.
This February, DBL is all new every day.
Like, it is such a joke. No, hold on. I was shocked.
I don't know what you're saying.
Here come the Pistons.
I love this story.
Stick with us in 2021. We're going to have a great year.
Brianne Davis, welcome to DBL, actress, director, and now author. You have been recovering from sex and love addiction for 11 years now. Can you put into perspective how it is the same disease as alcohol and drug addiction?
First of all, I want to say that sex and love addiction is the deadliest disease. It's actually worse than drugs and alcohol.
Welcome back to DBL. Valentine's weekend is upon us, and who's ready for a romantic dinner and a movie at home? Aww. Earlier, Al, Jeff, and I caught up with the chef of love, Chef Gernard, who has you covered on the meal and the movie recommendations. Take a look. Chef Gernard, welcome back, Chef, to DBL. We always love you when you're here. We love your food. We've got your dish right in front of us. It's smelling good. We've got the chef's recipe on our website, so I don't want you guys to worry about writing all this down. We've got you covered. Just sit back and relax and enjoy. So, Chef, what are we looking at here, and why is it perfect for Valentine's Day? I'm going to start to dig in.
It's perfect on so many levels. For one, being that this is a agave roasted chicken breast, you got your potatoes, you got your green beans, all of this to go in, as well as we doing a one-sheet wonder. Now, the cool thing with those one-sheet pan wonders, you cook everything all on one pan, covered in foil just like I did, and guess what? Less mess, because hey, Valentine's Day is all about romance, and you don't want to be bogged down in the kitchen anyway. Like doing right here is, you see I put a little olive oil in the bottom of our pan. We're gonna add some garlic to it. We're gonna add some of my lemon pepper ranch. That gives it that nice lemon zest, a little all-purpose seasoning to give it boldness. Now what you wanna do is you wanna take your green beans, you're gonna lay them out on your sheet pan. After you lay those out on the sheet pan, you take your potatoes. Now we got us here, these nice aromatics you should be tasting within that flavor. Your rosemary, your thyme, all of that. Now, this is the kicker. Normally the recipe calls for butter, but I always say, let's Southern modify these dishes and create a new soul kitchen style. So instead of melted butter in my pineapple juice, I have some olive oil. And see that olive oil, olive oil has some nice omega in it as well. And you want to just pour that pineapple juice, that olive oil, all that on top of it. Then you can add a little more of the all-purpose to your potatoes. Then look, we were just talking about that agave. That agave gives it that nice, good sweetness. Then from there, preheat that oven to 375, pop it in, and guess what? I'm eating right along with y'all.
Chef, you never do us wrong. I love it, and I love that it's all in one pan, which makes not only this easy, cleanup easy, but this is delicious. We're eating it right now. What's a good dessert that you could pair with it that just is easy? Good question.
One is my caramel apple bread pudding.
Oh my
Caramel apple bread pudding. If you don't want to do that, then you can go for a nice, good, cool banana Foster or banana pudding. Those things easy to make, one dish, boom, let's clean up, and more back to focusing on each other. That's what we need to be doing right now in 2021.
We're talking about the food, Chef. That's all fine and good, but this is a dinner and a movie kind of night. So what movie is the chef and his wife, who I'm assuming is behind the camera right now?
Alan, and the team says, what's up, Miss Keena? My infamous camera lady who's always there for me. Look, I'm still kind of like that oldest kind of guy. Man, I really love catching the movie Boomerang. How he starts out one way, but then end up falling in love, losing the girl, getting the girl back. That's the kind of movie I'm thinking, kind of similar to us. When I met my wife 22 years ago, hey, we met, and the first thing I asked her was, hey, can I cook you dinner? I didn't have much money, but my pickup line was, I knew how to cook.
I think that might work on me.
But I'm going to go with Forgetting Sarah Marshall. It's not a traditional Valentine's Day movie.
That's good.
But it's going to give you a laugh.
Yeah, and it's a movie that you guys can always watch together.
Al, what movie will you be watching?
You're not getting out of the story. What was your movie?
I said When Harry Met Sally. That's my traditional movie.
Oh,
it's when
my goodness.
What? Okay. It's when friends, like my husband and I,
45 years ago.
I know, it's a Rob Reiner classic, and you should be quiet.
We are definitely kindred spirits, because mine was definitely Boomerang, because I thought not only is that a love story, it's a story about male friendship, which you really hadn't seen a lot leading up to that.
We love. Thank you so much. It's going to be wonderful, Chef. Thank you for you and your wonderful wife and family joining us here at DBL. And to all of our DBL Nation, head on over to that website. Remember, dailyblastlive.com. We'll be right back.
Thanks, Chef.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Welcome back to DBL. The pandemic has made it nearly impossible for any spontaneous travel this past year, but there are some safe and smart ways to plan something if you're itching to get away. We're chatting about it in today's DBL Drive, sponsored by CarShield. One option, treat yourself to a staycation. Spend the weekend at a nearby hotel getting that spa treatment you deserve. Second, for all those outdoor lovers, book a boat trip, but don't pull a Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Or do.
It's a great way to stay socially distant outside with close family or friends. Lastly, you can get out of your comfort zone by booking a weekend with your local adventure guide. Try something new like rafting or rock climbing. Remember, when it comes to your travel, for peace of mind, get an auto protection plan with CarShield. CarShield protects their members from the high cost of auto repairs. Call 1-800-505-9619 for a free quote.
And we live somewhere where it's actually reasonably easy to get around and do cool stuff. Like Breckenridge is near near Denver, so there's a lot to do around here.
Except all I like to do is sit and eat. And most people are like, let's go skiing, I'll be here.
You can what is the thing? Snow tube?
That's what I like to do. That's true.
Sounds very fun.
We do have something special before we go. Lindsay, you've got a very special birthday shout out, am I right?
Yes, I want to say happy birthday to my great grandmother, Lucille Young. She turns 105 today. 105. I love her so much. much. I think she is my spirit animal. When I go home, she tells me advice, and I write down some of the quotes she has.
Okay, let's hear it. What's her name, Grandma?
Her name is Lucille Young. She's my great-grandmother. She has about 4 great-great-grandchildren with my niece, August, and several other people in our family. So it's really awesome. But she says, listen, Lindsay, if anybody comes up to you and says, if I were you, just stop them there and say, you ain't me.
Oh my God, that's Grandma Young. Like, that's so good.
And she traveled a lot. Like, she traveled all over the globe with her church when she was younger. And so she always tells me it's great to read a book, but it's awesome to go see stuff for yourself. Yes. So she's really the reason why I love to just go explore, learn about cultures, and really get to know people, like personally, without just reading about them.
They say you can't have racism if you travel, because you just learn to meet other people.
You just have empathy for other people.
You said she had 4 great-grandchildren. I wonder what like the Guinness World Record is for the amount of greats behind like grandchildren. Like how many like great.
I know these are really young. They're all like under 2, so or under 5, I should say. And so I don't know if they're gonna have a great-great-great-grandma, but hopefully, because she's just chilling right now with my grandma Ida, who's with her every single day.
Grandma
so I love
Ida's
you both.
her daughter.
Yes.
Wow. Miss Young, we wish you the best. Goodbye to all our friends. We love you, and coworkers at home. When the pandemic's over, we'll be back together again soon. We'll see you on Monday. Bye, guys.
Thank you.